Welcome to our 1-hour meeting of the minds about money, your money. This is InvestTalk, made possible today and every day by KPP Financial. It's about managing risk while looking for profits, putting the money you worked for to work for you. And now, here's registered investment advisor Steve Peasley.
Welcome to InvestTalk, everybody, and we do thank you for thinking of us today and tuning us in. Let me ask you first, before we get started, what kind of investor are you? Your answer will have a great deal to do with how you hear this program. If you're an experienced investor, you'll hear it one way. You'll like more of what we do. If you're a beginner, you may take a little while to get used to some of the terminology and learn how to do this stuff, but it's great. No matter beginner or experienced, it doesn't matter. You will learn a lot. Most experienced people are traders, love to actively trade. Well, whether or not you are or not, you're welcome to join listeners to fall into the same category that are traders. But if you're a beginner or someone who doesn't really have time to pay close attention to every day, to the market, what's going on in the economy, likes to think and talk about economics, maybe you're not one of those people. That's okay. We'll also give you a lot of good information that will help you. We try to walk that fine line between beginner and experienced. It's difficult sometimes. I know we lose some people because we're talking over their head, and then we lose some other people because we're making it too simple. I know that. But it's a difficult task. It's a balancing act, everybody. So we want to talk to everybody. We want to kind of get you in the middle of the road, give enough very complex stuff and enough simple things that everybody gets something out of it. So hopefully you'll give us a call and we'll talk to you and answer your questions. That's the only way I really know if I'm talking to the people at the level they want to hear. Our next conference is in Los Angeles area, and we'll be focused on what kind of investor you are. We'll be focusing on, we're going to give you a list of stocks, everybody, a list of Warren Buffett type stocks. Warren Buffett type stocks. Now, Warren likes to buy big companies. He likes small companies too, but he always likes to buy underpriced stocks with great fundamentals. He doesn't even look at charts. He doesn't even pay attention to the price of the stock other than in relationship to its earnings and potential earnings, and wants to pay a cheap price for it. That's what he does. Now, that conference is going to be in Industry Hills on the 17th. That's a week from tomorrow. If you want to come to the conference, it's $45. We provide you a bunch of handouts. We provide you breakfast in the morning. By the way, the conference goes from 9 to 12. Usually we go to 12:31 with the questions. We never stop answering those kind of questions. And it goes on for a while. We also give you a cookie break and drinks. And most people enjoy it. I enjoy it. I have a good time doing these things. I really do. And I think most people who come have a good time. And you will learn. We'll show you how we do things. There's going to be a charting lesson involved. Always is. And we're going to talk about the economy and when the stock market's going to rally, and have we already seen it come out of its economic and stock market slump? Are we looking past those dire times? What's happening with the financial crisis? Is that done? Or is we going to see some more damage? Anyways, hope to see you there. A week from tomorrow, the 17th in Industry Hills. Go to investtalk.com. That's with 2 T's. Sign up. Now you can get through now. 888-99-CHART, 888-992-4278. You can get in on the conversation, and you can do it right now. We have lines open, and we'd love to hear from you. I want to talk to Torino in Pico Rivera. How do you say that?
It's Torino.
Pretty good. Torino.
That's pretty good. You got it in there.
It was one of them, right? It was one of them.
Right.
Thanks for calling.
Well, I have sort of a beginning question. I'm a beginning trader.
Okay.
I've taken a couple of lumps here and there.
We all do. I took a huge lump just the other day on one of the stocks we have. So, Torino, if you don't make decisions, you'll never take a lump. You also never make money.
And you never take a gain either, right?
That's right.
Okay, I want to use an example of Intel as my question.
Okay.
it's not really about the stock, but how to read the, I guess the information when you type in the stock
Okay.
to get the info. Am I reading this right?
Okay.
I own the stock, and it had I guess it's the X date.
Yes,
as far as
dividend date.
Okay, right. Okay, that was the 5th.
Right.
And so the dividend pays is sometime in June.
Correct.
Okay, so I had to own the stock by the end of that date in order to receive a dividend, correct?
On May 5th. You had to own it by that day.
Okay, now, if I were to sell the stock after that day but before the dividend payout,
yes,
do I lose the dividend?
No.
Oh, I don't.
You will still get the dividend. If you own the stock on May 5th and you sold it on May 6th, the dividend would come into you. Even though you don't have the stock, the dividend would come into you next month.
Oh, okay.
And all of a sudden, you'll see this money come in, a dividend. If you're really paying attention, closely, you'll say, where the heck did this come from? It's the dividend from Intel. What happens a lot, let's say you transfer your account to someplace else before you get the dividend. What will happen is your old account will have, money come into it. The dividend will come into that old account.
Right.
Because that's where the stock was held at the time the dividend was ex-dividend date.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so you got to pay attention. Why do I have money over? Why do I have $42 in my old account? I transferred everything out. Yeah,
right.
That's because dividends came in.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Good question. Thanks. Appreciate the question.
Thank you very much.
Everybody else, ex-dividend date. What does that mean? That's the date of record of all the shareholders on that day get the dividend. That's what the ex-dividend date means. Ex-dividend date. The stock went ex-dividend. What does that mean? That means the shareholders on that day is going to get the dividend because that's when the company decided to pay the dividend. And Intel went ex-dividend on May 5th. May 5th. So you're going to get, and they're paying 2.4% annual dividend. So if their dividend is a quarterly dividend, you got to know that. Is it an annual dividend, quarterly payout? What is that? You have to know. Was it a special dividend? You got to know that. They'll tell you. They'll announce it. They'll tell you. Okay. Now it's time for you to be part of the program. It's your turn. What's your investing question? Call 888-99-CHART right now. If you're ready, we are too. 888-992-4278.
When you have a question that needs to be asked about your investments, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you need a sounding board for a fast-moving opportunity you see, just dial 888-99-CHART anytime, 24 hours a day, and we'll get you the answer on the next program or by email if you prefer. A service to investors from Klein Pavlis Peasley Financial.
So let's check our 24-hour listener line. That is the same number, 888-99-CHART. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for any questions you might have.
Hi there. I was just wondering about investments and taxes. If you sell a stock, I know you have to pay cost basis and pay your taxes on the gains, but how do you treat the commissions that you might have paid to the broker? Do you get to deduct those, or how do you treat that? That's my question, and thanks for taking it.
Okay, very good question. You do get to deduct those. So let's say you buy a stock at $10 and you sold it for $12. Okay? You're going to have to pay gain on that $2, right? Now the question is, of course, there was a cost to buy it and a cost to sell it. So your net profit is not $2. It's what is your net profit after costs. Okay, so let's say, just for argument's sake, let's say it was 50 cents to buy and sell the stock. So your profit is only $1.50, not $2 per share, $1.50. So you get to deduct the cost. Now, what kind of tax do you pay? There's short-term capital gains tax. This is a capital gain, everybody. And there's long-term capital gains tax.